G'day guys, welcome to the preview of yesterday's big win against the West Coast Eagles at Marvel Stadium. I'm just down at a junior football game, and I thought, I've got a little bit of time and I'll do this now because it is a really quick turnaround because we're playing Friday night, and I didn't want to wait until tomorrow to do this. Plus, I didn't watch the game live yesterday. I didn't go, and I also didn't watch it at home. I was involved with local football all day, and the game was going on while I was working with the club. So I was pretty much caught up. So my focuses were somewhere else, although I did check the AFL app. It would have been early in the second quarter, and I was like, wow, that's a lopsided scoreline. I think it was like 60-8 in our favour at that stage, and Charlie had already had maybe half a dozen on the board. But I did look at the stat winners at that stage, and I did see some red lines through guys like Jack Silvani who'd been subbed out, and maybe Walsh as well. So I'm thinking, that's not too good. But I put the phone away, and then I obviously knew after the game that Charlie had kicked 10. But what I wanted to try and do, I was pretty fucked when I got home. Really tired actually. And I watched the Collingwood game and Port, and that was a ripper. And by the time that was finished, I watched a little bit of I think the cricket was just about to start, and I thought, no, I'll go to bed and get up early and watch the game fresh in the morning, which I did. So I didn't want to read any match reports, best players, get rundowns off people on Twitter, etc. I just thought, no, I'll watch it in the morning. And here are my thoughts. I thought it was, well, let's just get it out of the way. I mean, the West Coast Eagles are what they are at the moment. But it's not much point talking about how weak the opposition were, because one thing this group has been able to do over the last, say, 5 weeks is just been able to focus on their own, I suppose, energy and enthusiasm and willingness to really play the game on its merits. And they've been all super impressive. And what I'm saying is that all the games have been super impressive, and there's been a method and a real structure, and I suppose the speed of ball movement has just gone through the roof. The boys are playing with a lot of confidence, and seem to be really happy. And I mean, you're happy when you're winning and things are going your way. But I don't necessarily want to spend the next 6 or 7 minutes talking about how crap the Eagles were, because we were just so good. And that margin could have been over 100 if, the second half, when we lost some troops and the rotations were down on the bench. And to the Eagles' credit, they did find something, which was good for them and for the game. Did they necessarily challenge us? No. Did we put the cue in the rack? I don't think we did. I just think we played the game right out. We're just down on some numbers, and when you think about it, down on a lot of our best players. I mean, fucking think about it, really. Like, Chera is probably easily winning our best and fairest. Cripps has been good over the last month. Losing one of your key forwards, Harry, Kennedy the week before that, Martin. I mean, this is before the game, and then Walsh was just, oh my God, what was he on? He was fast. His agility was back. He was clean. He was breaking away from stoppages. His energy was through the roof. And then to lose him, what does that look like moving forward? That makes me a little bit sick, to lose Sam Walsh when he's in this type of mood and this type of touch. Jack to go down, who looked like he was going to have another good game. Motlop, who'd already kicked 2 goals, and then sort of Chincotta on and off the ground with a head knock. I think the boys do really well to play that game out to the end, and run away with just such an easy win. But we were on fire. I mean, I suppose the thing I liked, we celebrated, but there was a reservation with Charlie. I mean, he kicked 9 against the Eagles the last time we played them over there. This time there was a bit of reservation about his celebrations until he kicked the last one. And why wouldn't you celebrate double figures? There was something about he was very humble in the way I think he acknowledged more the work of the players upfield to give him those opportunities to kick those goals on a day where, let's face it, the competition which he faced, he started off on young Hoff, and then Oscar Allen came down. And look, I don't know whether Oscar Allen's a great defender. He's definitely a good forward. He found himself on a couple of other guys at different stages. He was on fire, and he's such an incredible player. And I think my favourite goal was the one where I think it was Dow. I think Dow broke away and kicked the ball long to space. And Charlie was able to lead his player to the ball outside of 50, and he unleashed and the ball rolled through. I think that was my favourite goal. That was a ripper. And I think he won 1 free kick, possibly 2. So all the goals were won on real sort of merit. He as much as the opposition was poor, I mean, he really earned those 10 goals. It was just a great display by our key forward, and everyone played a part in enabling him to get there. But I just think he kept it under wraps a little bit. He never got carried away like Charlie can do. It was great. It was great for the game, great for him. I suppose great to see it celebrated, but let's keep it under wraps because, Coleman medals are Coleman medals. This group needs to play finals. They really do. This group needs to play finals this year, and it's going to get a hell of a lot tougher over the next few weeks, particularly, come Friday night against the league leaders. Defensively, pretty strong. We weren't really challenged until half-time. Love Brody Kemp's game again, really developing. Still have slight question marks with it when he gets caught out on a bigger forward. That's going to happen at times. He can not get lost, but does he yet have the strength? But his rebound work and his intercept marking, his ball use, and his speed and confidence is first rate. And with Adam Sardo, I thought was good. Wiedering was strong in the air. Thought Cowan was quiet. In fact, Cowan and Honey didn't take their opportunities in that game at all. Hard to see on the TV what they were doing off the ball. I'm sure they were working hard. Honey is a defensive forward. And that was a lovely goal, by the way. He hit that sweetly. On the left. And I thought, all right, let's go, Josh, here. Let's get a few, mate, and get your confidence up. But he just couldn't get into the game. And Cowan the same. The Eagles didn't have a lot. They really didn't. Had a young Noah Long, and Petruccelli was okay in that third quarter, but they didn't have a lot, let's face it, other than an ageing Darling. So there was an opportunity for him coming back into the team, but maybe he stays. Jordan Boyd, I think we missed a little bit. Well, not so much missed, but we really need him. We really need Jordan Boyd. So that potentially poses a small problem with some other injuries at the moment. But Chincotta strong again. Newman very, very, very solid as he has been all year. I thought the rebound from defence was excellent once again. But we face that Collingwood forward line, which is just really dynamic. It's going to be a really big test for this group. Midfield, yeah, Walsh, Hewitt, great to see him find some form. Been waiting for this game by George Hewitt. We know he's a quality player, and he looked freer. He looked freer, so maybe it's been a really solid sort of training block for him to get the body right. We will really need him to be at his best. He can play that sort of run with roll and win his own ball. Thought he was super. Easily our second best. Walsh was on target to be probably our second best with Charlie, but Hewitt was good. Dow made the most of his opportunities. It's rather ironic, isn't it, that Voss didn't need him. Overlooked. His form was super. Knocking the door down, doing everything right. Question marks on him, ball use, defence, tackling. He's still not there and not getting carried away. But right here, right now, we're gonna need Paddy Dow, and his breakaway speed and his ball use was pretty solid. There was that one where he hit Charlie lace out. That was class. And then the goal in the last quarter was something we haven't seen from Paddy Dow since probably his first year, when he did a couple of those things. And then the other blokes who rolled through there at times, sort of played their role. And DeConning in the ruck I thought it was one of his better games this season. He's just running into some pretty bloody solid form, and he's going to need it against Cox. And also Darcy Cameron this week. You'd probably think we bring Pitnet back in now, given some of the challenges with Jack potentially out with that knee. So DeConning forward, clunked a few, probably should have kicked 3. He was actually kicking the ball really well yesterday, Tom DeConning. And he's playing pretty bloody good football. In our front half, obviously the Charlie show. Cunningham was good. That sort of connector role. I really like that connector role of him and Fogarty, sort of connecting between midfield and our forwards. Motlop looked pretty sharp early. So, look, you can't get carried away, but what you can get carried away with is the consistency of effort and form over the last 5 weeks. That's what you can, I suppose, get super confident about. This isn't a one-off now. This is a series of games over a 5-week period where the energy and the output and the method has been there, and for the most part, there hasn't, within games, been any drop-off. So I've seen good clubs against the West Coast Eagles not struggle, but fall away a little bit. I saw Geelong play them over in Adelaide in the gather round, and Geelong got off to a flyer, absolute flyer, similar to us. But the Eagles were able to, I think, kick 6 goals in succession against them. They pushed the Tigers last week in certain parts of that game. So I think we should be pretty happy with what's happened over the last 5 weeks. But the test, the real, and let's face it, I'm hearing a lot of things now, and I'm not going to preview this game now, guys, but I'm hearing a lot of things like from supporters, let's not fear the Pies, let's not fear them. That's just rhetoric and talk. That's just rhetoric and talk. This is a very, very unique football team we're about to face on Friday night, and I mean unique. They've got something very, very special about them, and maybe we are starting to find something special and unique about our own team. So I don't necessarily buy into this let's not fear them, because it's easy for us from the cheap seats to say that, because I don't think any supporter believes that when they're saying let's not fear Collingwood, because they're a team to be feared. Let's face it, they're a team to be feared. I don't think any supporter will be sitting going to that game with a hell of a lot of confidence to win it. But at the same time, I think we're confident in this group now that hopefully they've found something about each other after a really difficult period. Anyway, I will preview the game probably on Wednesday. Speak soon.